What is a worker's worth? So here it has been mentioned worth. Worth means what? Having a value. Okay. So workers also have their own values that we have to remember it. So this part is going to be start from your lesson, the beginning page of page 126, and till you have to read 126 only. So it is on one page only. What is a worker's worth? Okay. So at last, I will share that textbook with you in this online session. We'll see that what is there on that page. But before that, we'll see what is there in the PPT. So see now, a worker's worth means the value of the workers. Employees, unhealthy or unsafe working conditions when workers are in dire need of jobs, they don't have the power to ask for better working conditions. So what has been mentioned in this slide? It has been mentioned about unhealthy and unsafe working conditions. Because if we have seen the surrounding area of the factories or in industry, the working conditions are not safe for workers. Sometimes it may happen, but we cannot say that everywhere. Yes, it is related to wages, right? So, when workers are in dire need of jobs, dire means what? Badly. Some workers, those who are very poor, they badly needed jobs there. So, when the job opportunities are there in front of them, they will not think about it, whatever salary they are getting it or whatever wages they are getting it. So they don't have the power to ask for better working conditions. If the working conditions are not good for them or not safe for them, even also they have to ignore about it because they badly needed the jobs. So that is the one thing in front of us. Then employees could be forced to work illegally, like child labor, labor under bondage, etc., that comes at a lower price. So the second one condition which have been mentioned here, that the employees or the workers, they could be forced to work illegally, like we have seen about child labor, okay, and labor under bondage. Bondage means what? The state of lacking freedom. The laborers are not getting freedom there. Okay, as we have seen in the previous PPT, it has been mentioned that they don't have the power to ask for better working conditions. Okay, so it is related to the bondage of the workers. Okay, so these laborers are under pressure, and whatever orders they are getting from their owner, they have to follow it. They don't have freedom there. That comes at a lower price. So it has been mentioned here. They forced to work illegally. So examples are there. Child labor. You know very well that some children are working in the hotels also. Might be you have been seen everywhere also. So this is illegal work. We can say that as per the rules which have been given in the constitution. Now we'll focus on consumer. Consumer means what? Who are the consumers? Can anybody tell me about it? So those who are buying the products from the market and those who are using it, these are included in the consumer category. So product made from unsafe ingredients, for example, food could have cheaper preservatives, artificial colors, etc., which are hazardous. Medicines could have cheap but harmful chemicals and so on. So what has been mentioned here, these are some of the examples where we will see the product made from unsafe ingredients. Sometimes it may happen to reduce the price of that product. What these owners are doing, they are going to use the cheaper material there. As we have seen example of food. So food could have cheaper preservatives. Preservatives means what? Any agent that acts to preserve that food item. Okay. So that has been used, not costly, and sometimes it may have seen that artificial colors are going to be used in the food items, like in the cakes, various food items are there in like jalebi or gulab jamun. Okay, so there we can see that sometimes these sweet markets are going to be used artificial colors, but these are very harmful for living things. which are hazardous. Hazardous means very dangerous for human beings, those who are eating that food items. And so the second example is related to medicines. It could have cheap but harmful chemicals and so on. So sometimes it may happen that medicines which we are getting from the medical store, these are at a cheaper price, and the chemicals which are being used in that medicine, these are very harmful for us. So there we will see that unsafe ingredients have been used by the owners for to reduce the price of the product. Then investors and owners. Unfair competition, because of which it is very difficult to conduct business. So there are a few examples of exploitation to reduce manufacturing cost. Manufacture means what? To produce the thing. Okay. So as I told, to reduce the price of manufacturers or for the products, there are some examples of exploitation where we will see that the price are going to be reduced by using the cheaper material, by using the preservative items like this only. So this is going to be called as unfair. So this is unfair competition, because of which it is very difficult to conduct the business. So those who are doing business, it's very difficult for them to solve this problem. So people providing raw material. Now some people are going to provide the raw material for the business. So who are included in it? People who supply raw material or services towards the end product may be exploited because of their weak negotiating power. Here it has been mentioned negotiating. Negotiating means what? To settle something. Okay. It means that to settle something. So what we are going to see about the raw material. Have you read about that the business which were present in the British time in India, because the raw material which have been provided by the Indian people to the owner of that business or to owner of that industry, they are taking it or they are buying it from these poor people at lower prices. And when the product is there in the market, after processing in industry, they are selling it at higher prices. So there is a discrimination between poor people and rich people. So it has been mentioned here like this only. So the people who supply raw material or services towards the end product, they may be exploited. Like poor people, we will get some examples in the next one slide. So because of their weak negotiating power, they have less freedom. Accordingly, they have been exploited by these business owners. So, for example, we will see now cotton producers and weavers are the suppliers who can be forced to provide their goods and services at very low cost. So there are two examples in front of us. One is of cotton producer and another one is of weavers. So if these people are working, if these people are supplying the raw material to the business owners, they have to provide it their goods and services at very low cost. Why? Because they don't have power, because they don't have freedom, as we have seen in the first one slide of it. So, people who live in the area in which a factory is set up. Now, it is related to the factory area or industrial area where it has been established that business. So, the factories could pollute the air, soil, and water of the area, causing health issues for people who live in the vicinity. And factories do this to reduce cost of garbage disposal. So, what we have been observed in the surrounding area like this only, where the factory or industry have been set up, the factories could pollute the air because they are releasing the industrial waste or industrial dirty water in the river. So, it is very harmful for us. So, it will create the health issues for human beings, as we have seen, for people, those who are living in the vicinity area. Vicinity means what? Nearby area. So nearby that factories, the people, those who are living, their health is going to be affected due to the factories, because it could pollute the air, soil, and water, and that's why we are going to see that health issues. Have you heard about that Bhopal gas tragedy? Have you heard about it?
Yes, ma'am.
So what had happened there? Do you know that what happened there? In Bhopal gas tragedy, it had happened in 1984, right? So there the gas was leakage by the industry which have been established by US person. Okay, and due to it, yes, gas tank was exploded. Correct answer. So due to this, the people, those who are living near to Bhopal area, their health was going to be affected by it. So that is an example of it. So factories do this to reduce cost of garbage disposal. Why this may happen? Because the owner of the industry, yes, Sanvi, correct answer, beta. So the owner of the business or the industry, why they are going to do this? Because they wanted to reduce the cost of garbage disposal. They wanted to solve the problem of the garbage. Disposal means what? They have to manage about it. So that's why they are going to ignore this factor and they will not pay attention there as their industry is going to pollute the air, soil, and water near to area. That's why they are going to ignore. Yes, for more profit also. Right. So the people who live in that area get affected, and these people might not have anything to do with the factory at all, but will still suffer. So if these people are affecting by this industry, the owner of the business or the owner of the factory, they will not pay attention there. Okay, so these people might not have anything to do with the factory at all, but will still suffer. They could not do. The people, those who are living in the surrounding area, they could not do anything against them. They will still suffer. Whatever position is there, whatever surrounding area have been provided by that industry, they will still suffer that. They could not go against them because these factory owners are very rich and they have the position, they have the contact with the political persons also. So the people, those who are common people, they could not do anything against them. Now let us specifically discuss issues related to wage laborers, means salary workers, those who are getting low salary. So companies try to cut costs using unhealthy and sometimes even unfair means. Means means what? The material which have been used by that company or which have been used by the factory. So these material is at low cost. As we have seen, the food preservatives or artificial colors are going to be used to reduce the cost of the products. So it is an example of it where we will see the laborers or the workers are getting less salary. So companies try to cut cost using unhealthy material, using unfair means also. Then we'll see intentionally not providing for safety measures for employees and intentionally disregarding complaints against malfunctioning equipment are a few of them. Now here the different conditions have been mentioned. Intentionally, okay, purposely, what they are going to do, they will not provide for safety measures. What are the safety measures for the workers? They have to wear, if we have taken the example of mining people, they have to wear that particular suit, and if that suit is not going to be provided by the owner of the business, then it has been considered as intentionally that business owner not providing for safety measures for all these workers, those who are getting less salary. And another one example, that intentionally disregarding complaints. Disregarding means what? To ignore, or they will not pay attention towards the complaints of the workers. So intentionally or purposely, they are going to ignore the complaints of the workers against malfunctioning equipment, because the material or the machines which are there in the factories or in the industrial area, these are malfunctioning. These are not working properly. Sometimes it may found it. So accordingly, when these workers are going against it and they wanted to make a complaint against it to the owner of the factory, then these owners are not paying attention to it. So these are some of the examples where we will see that workers are not getting safety measures by the business owners. As I told about Bhopal gas tragedy, so some of the important highlights are here. Work crew cut from 12 to 6, means the persons those who are working there. So the number of the persons, crew means what? The group of the people. So that group of the people have been reduced, the number of the people have been reduced from 12 to 6. So previously 12 workers were working there, and now it has been reduced, now there only 6 people were working. So safety training program cut short. The safety training program, it was of 6 months previously when that industry have been established. But afterward, it has been cut short. It became only for 15 days. Okay, it became only for 15 days. So in this way, we can say that safety training program also cut short. And the company managers and government officials knew of these hazards. So when that company or industry have been established in Bhopal, that time our government officials knew about the dangerous conditions due to that. What was going to be happen due to this Bhopal company or Bhopal industry. So they knew about it, but even also they were not going to pay attention on it. However, the managers of the company didn't want to incur the extra cost, and the government officials thought the foreign companies' investment in their state was more important. Why government was going to ignore this factor? Because at that time our government officials were thinking in their mind that if the foreign company were going to invest their money in the state or in our India, that was more important for us. Because of it, they were getting more profit of it. So accordingly, they were not paying attention what was going to be happen in the surrounding area due to that industry. They were paying attention only that foreign company has to come in India and they have to invest their money there only. So that was only more important for them, and they were paying attention for more profit. And the managers of the company didn't want to incur the extra cost. Incur means what? To expose or to occur. Okay, they were not paying attention there and they didn't want to incur the extra cost for it. Now, how are companies brave enough to behave in these ways? Okay, so how they were behaving at that time. Laws in India are not stringent. Why this thing had happened in Bhopal industry or Bhopal gas tragedy? Because at that time the laws which were there in India, these were not stringent. Stringent means what? Strict. Okay, these laws are not strict, and even these weak laws are not enforced properly. Enforced means what? To impose on the people properly. So our government was not imposing or not enforcing these laws on the people, and that's why it has been mentioned that weak laws. Our laws are good for the people, but these were not stringent. These were not strict, and why these were not strict? Because our government was not enforcing or imposing these laws on the people properly. That's why. Now, a deeper look into the cases of exploitation reveal that laborers are treated unfairly because why these laborers are working on the low wages or on low salary. So now we are going to see that how these laborers are treated unfairly. What were the reasons behind this? They can be easily replaced because there are many unemployed people and the work doesn't require special skills. As we have taken examples of mining. Okay, so the people those who are working in the mines, these people are very poor people and they can be easily replaced. Why? Because there are many more people which are unemployed in the surrounding area, as they are not getting education. The same thing which we are going to see in our surrounding area or in India only, because as population is very high in India. So there are many more people which are unemployed people and they are ready to work on the low wages. So that's why we can say that the people, those who are working in that particular area, they can be easily replaced by any person because it doesn't require special skills to work on it. They need to do only hard work there. Other reason behind this, that is the workers are so poor and that they are willing to work for low pay even if the conditions are unsafe. So as we have seen in the first one slide, that badly these workers are needed jobs for them, and when that job opportunity is in front of them, they will not think about the unsafe conditions are there. They will think about that they need only money. As they are very poor, even also they are willing to work for low pay there. This is not restricted to the Bhopal tragedy from 30 plus years. So it is only one example related to Bhopal gas tragedy, but we can say that it is going to happen nowadays also. So from 30 plus years. So these are common even today in the mining industry, pharmaceutical companies, etc. Pharmaceutical companies means relating to pharmacy. Okay. So these are some of the examples where we will see the workers are working there in the industry or in the companies at low wages because they badly needed the job. Anybody is having doubt in the PPT? Everything is clear to you? So you have to read which page 126 for it. Let me show that page to you. This is Bhopal gas tragedy, which we are going to see here, how these people are facing the problem right now also. Okay. Animals are also going to be affected by it. See this page now, 126. What is a worker's worth? This page you have to read it very carefully. Okay. You have to read it very carefully. And as it has been told that on one page number 122, the table is there. Let me show that page to you. See, this table you have to fill it according to your own opinion. There are three columns. First is of law. In the first column, you will see all laws are there. Then we have to write down why is it necessary in our India, and then accordingly we have to write down whose interest does the law protect. So first is done for us. We'll see about it. Minimum Wages Act specifies that wages should not be below a specified minimum. So why is it necessary? Many workers are denied fair wages by their employers because they badly need work, and workers have no bargaining power and are paid low wages. That's why it is necessary for the workers. And whose interest does the law protect? This law is meant to protect the interest of all workers, particularly farm laborers, construction workers, factory workers, domestic workers, etc. Okay, we'll see the second one only. Law specifying that there be adequate safety measures in workplaces, for example, alarm system, emergency exits, properly functioning machinery, etc. Okay, so accordingly, if we have seen this law, why is it necessary to make it in our India? What do you think about it? What we will write in the table of? If we are not going to provide the safety measures to the workers, then it may be affect their health also. As we have seen example, the people those who are working in the mines. Okay, so why is it necessary? We have to pay attention to the safety measures for them. That's why you can write like this. And whose interest does the law protect? This law is going to protect the interest of all workers. Okay, we have to write down in the third one column, it is related to all workers, right? So this way you have to fill the information in that table. You have to complete this table which is there on page number 122. Read all laws, why it is necessary, and we have to write down whose interest does the law protect. Okay.
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.